Hey everybody, this is Dr. Joe Borio with Change Your Health, Change Your Life. And we did a little different setup today. I'm doing it on a photo booth today, so I thought that'd be kind of fun. And I wanted to talk a little bit about getting your brain to work better, which in turn affects the overall function of your body, makes you healthier. So I wanted to use an example. One of the examples I thought would work would be when we talk about efficiency of the brain, we're going to talk about a boat. So let's say, for example, you got a boat and you want to go from New York City to Rome, Italy. Sounds like a good trip, right? So you get on the boat, you got one big engine, and the engine is got a rudder in one direction, and you head to Rome. So that, depending on how well that engine works, so that's going to be the efficiency of the engine, that's going to get you to Rome. But let's say, to make it simple, let's say we're going to put two engines on the boat. Most people would agree with two engines. If everything's running correctly in both engines, you're going to get to Rome faster. Maybe not twice as fast, but certainly faster. 3 engines going to get you there faster. 4 engines and so forth, if that makes sense. To a certain degree, the more engines you have, the faster you're going to get there. But let's say, for example, we got up to 10 massive engines in this massive boat, and 9 engines got a rudder that are going in this same direction directly to Rome, and the 10th engine has got a rudder going in a different direction, and the engine isn't working as fast. That's gonna change the efficiency of the boat. So the boat's not going to be able to solve the problem, perform the task of driving from New York City to Rome as well as fast, and therefore it's not as efficient. 2 engines not working as well. I got 8 working great, 2 not, with the rudders going in a different direction. Now the other 8 got to make up for what the other 2 aren't doing as well, plus they got to work towards getting to Rome. So that would be the efficiency. Your neurons in your brain, if you will, kind of work the same way. If you think of them as engines on a boat or motors in a car, if you will, if they're all working for the same end, the same cause, then your brain's going to work faster. It's going to work better. I think the lack, or the biggest thing I see is a lack of understanding, both in healthcare and in public, in realizing that your brain controls all the functions of your body. Your brain talks to your body through electrical signals. Like a computer talks to your monitor, or your keyboard, or your mouse, or what have you, and it's constantly communicating back and forth to the printer, telling it what it needs to do, and there's commands being sent. If the spine is crooked, I press on those nerves, those messages don't get there as well. So now we're seeing it affects the overall function of the brain. So where am I headed? So if each neuron is an engine, if you got a bunch of neurons working exactly the way they're supposed to, in the same intention to complete the work or the task in the same means, then the task is going to work better, the body's going to work better. So where we're losing that connection is, hey, the healthier my brain is, that means the healthier my lungs are, my heart's healthier, my kidneys are healthier, my stomach's healthier, my immune system's healthier. And this isn't an opinion of a healthcare provider, this is scientific fact. We know that people that have a healthier brain and nervous system are less likely to develop cancer, less likely to develop heart disease, which are the top 2 killers in the United States. Number 3 are drugs, so we're using drugs to treat cancer and heart disease, and now drugs are becoming the 3rd cause of death in the United States. So just by getting your brain and nervous system to work healthier, we know that the body's going to be healthier. So we've got science to show this. So the point is, we've only got, let's say you got 10 neurons in your brain, right? You've got 100 trillion neurons in your body, or nerve cells in your body. But let's say that you've got 10, and 8 of them are going in one direction and 2 are going in another direction. It makes sense. Your brain's not working as well, which means you're not digesting your food as well. Your immune system's not working as well. You're not thinking as well. Your brain's not processing information as well. My interaction with people won't be as good. The smell, the taste of things won't be as good. How I solve problems, how I think about problems, my emotional state, how I think about and feel about myself, how I interact with my children, my spouse, girlfriend, whatever. All of those things are affected by how well my brain works. So we don't think of it that way, but it's critical to have our brain work as well as it possibly can. So we got 10 motors on a boat, and 8 of them are working good, and 2 aren't. My body's not working as well as it can be. All right, so we've got that established. So they used a functional MRI. What is that? That's an MRI that can evaluate or measure areas of activity in the brain, or they can measure how much work is being done on engines, let's say. Okay, it's like a stethoscope on an engine. Wow, this one's working good, that one's working good, that one's working good, that one's working good. So this one checks activity of the brain. Okay, so I put myself in an MRI and I say, hey, tell me what you did a week ago. I'm going to think about that, and certain areas of my brain are going to light up, my temporal lobe, and I'm going to say, wow, I remember what I did last week. This is what I did. And the MRI is going to see that, and it's going to say, hey, look, this is where those memories are kept. Hey, if I say, think about this, if I ask me to move my right arm or my right leg or my body part, certain parts of my brain are going to light up. So what they found was the sicker your nervous system was, the less efficient your brain worked, therefore you were sicker. Your body didn't work as well. So what they did is they did a real simple test. They had people go into an MRI and they had to move body parts. And they could see that many areas of the brain lit up, meaning the brain was using many different motors, if you will, number of engines, in order to complete a task where it could have used less engines, or it could have used engines all lined up going in the same direction. So they pulled the people out of the MRI and they adjusted them. What they did is they looked at the spine and they determined any areas that were out of proper alignment, where the rudder was bent, where the dimmer switch was down, where the breaker switch was off, if those are good examples. And what it could show is, hey, where there are loose wires, if you will, along the spine. And by adjusting them, by placing those vertebrae back in a better position, it allows better nerve communication. We know this scientific. This isn't a belief. This is the way it works. Just like wires in your house, it doesn't work really any differently as far as scientifically. And then what we did is we put these people back in the MRI, and we had them perform the same task, and they could perform the task using, if you will, less engines, meaning less of the brain lit up to perform the same task. So there was less neuronal recruitment, meaning, hey, I didn't need to order 5 tugboats in to get the boat over to Rome. I could just use the same engines and get them all moving in the same direction, and that allowed that part of my brain, those 10 motors got to work together with the rudder in one direction and allowed me to perform the task better, faster. And that's neuronal recruitment. So the consequence of that, which is a great one, right? The result of that is, hey, that means my brain works better. That means taste and smell and vision and hearing, all of that are better. That means how I swallow, my immune system, my heart, my lungs, my kidney, all of those things work better because my brain and nervous system work better. And that's how important and critical this is, and these studies are, to show that the nerve and brain, and the nervous system are critical for you not only to be healthy, but to really interact with people and have a better life. So it's not just about not getting sick, though that's a big part of it, but it's also about how you interact with yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you solve problems, how you think about yourself, how you think about relationships, work relationships. It affects how well you work. It affects how well you communicate and interact with other people, but that being, again, other family members and so forth, has a dramatic effect on every aspect of your life. Because what we're seeing, the great book is Restic's book, Brain, the Last Frontier, is he said how we move quantitatively and qualitatively, so we are, which meant how well we move greatly affected the neurology, the amount of neurology, the amount of energy that went through the nervous system, and how well it was able to communicate to them, how well those signals and messages were, greatly affected who you are, reflected upon directly who you are and how healthy you are. Just amazing research, just compounding how important it is to keep your spine healthy and keep your spine adjusted. Great research. This is the type of research we hand out in our office every week. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to be part of our office, certainly you can contact us at drjoeborio.com, and you can get all the information, plus a lot of our other health kits and a lot of different health topics. If you're looking for a chiropractor that really focuses on health and wellness, and you don't know who to see and you're not local to our area, by all means, email me. I'll try to connect you up with somebody that can really focus on getting you and your family healthy, along with other people in your family circle. Don't forget, guys, to eat well, to exercise, to think good thoughts, to drink water, get a good night's sleep, and don't forget that you and your mother, your father, your wife, your kids, your cousins, everyone in your world, everyone you know needs to be under regular chiropractic care to keep the nervous system healthy, keep your body functioning exactly the way it was intended. Guys, have a great, healthy week. I'll talk to you guys next week.